Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Paul and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
BallChat.
Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to BCN Sports BallChat Sunday. Junior, we are back. I am Benton. He's George, aka the engineer. Wagwan family, how you stay?
Well, I'm good enough. Good. Happy to be back. And football, well, football never gone anywhere. We've had a very impactful and eventful summer. And now we're ready to kick off the European season all over again. So this is our eighth season of BallChat Sundays.
Why is that notable? Why you have to tell people them so with the pan this thing for 8 years?
Well, we're almost vested now.
Hey, big up to all those on the live. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful Sunday. Yo, we have a jam-packed show. New subscribers, welcome to BCN Sports. And, viewers, regular viewers, we don't know in ourselves. Big up in ourselves, always returning as viewers and subscribers. Always thank you for joining in. All right, a jam-packed show. EPL top, front, and center. We're going to discuss the EPL weekend that was. Ballers and Bugs again, Junior. You have Ballers, bring them on. Ballers, impressive players of the week. Bugs, unimpressive player of the week or weekend. Then we're going to discuss La Liga. Take a look at what's going on in La Liga. La Liga kicked off over this last week. Some of the big teams rolled out this weekend. So, we have to take a look at Real Madrid and the man himself. Not the special one, a special one, and that's most notable, according from Judah. German Super Cup, exciting game yesterday between Bundesliga champs Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. That was an exciting football game. We'll take a look at that result. We'll discuss Yawd Ballers, any Jamaican football news. Take a look at the CFU U14 tournament that, Jamaica just got stitched up by Haiti, but we'll leave that over there, sir. Let's get to it, Junior. Ballers and Bugs. Let's kick it off with our EPL wrap. Football family on the live. If you want to send on Ballers and Bugs, send them on. But Junior, we're kicking it off with our scores and a roundup, and just drop in Ballers if you want. Let's start with this Liverpool versus Newcastle game. Game ended 2-2. Marquee matchup of this weekend's action. I think Newcastle should be a tad. Matthias Jacelis, coach, new manager at Newcastle, should be a bit upset. And of course, Adone Ariola, new manager over at Liverpool, should be satisfied, Junior. Your thoughts?
Looking at the way how the week, you made a loaded statement there. Newcastle could feel a little bit hard done. They could have and should have probably said, you could say that they should have walked away with the 3 points to start. Liverpool found the fight that was needed to come back and draw the game in a very hostile territory, because Slavoj put away the penalty coolly and calmly put away the penalty. But Wednesday we spoke during halftime show, and you know what? Baller of the week to the entire Newcastle squad, because at Wednesday we were talking about where would Newcastle score, how would Newcastle score, and it's still left to be determined. Did Liverpool get better on defense, or is Liverpool defense the same crap as last year, or did Newcastle find some new formula to figure out how they are going to score? It's the first game of the season. The future will tell. But ball of the week, not only to Ilanga, but I'll pick out anybody from Newcastle. The whole Newcastle come on. And the body do good. Earn a draw.
No, I'm sure I get the 3 points. Lewis Hall gave away that penalty at the late. I take a different approach. You can't have food at your yard. I understand we are humans, we make mistakes. But don't make mistake there, sir. Lewis Hall, go on to Manchester United, a.k.a. highly recruited Lewis Hall, according to multiple reports that Manchester United is interested in the services of Lewis Hall. We'll get to transfer news later on because transfer window will close coming up soon. But however, what? It's 93rd minute of the football game. Come on, Lewis Hall. Stand your ground. This is not basketball. Why are you blocking the man and give away the penalty? There's absolute. The Magpies Nation needed those 3 points and they squandered a golden opportunity because, 3 points is not going to be easy pickings this year for Newcastle. So you need to take them when you get them. You don't give them back. And I thought they left 2 points slip. So I don't have any ballers and bugs in this game. I thought that is particular for Liverpool. Alexander, you know what? Florian Wirtz, it's probably too early for me to give him a bug, but we need to take a step down on this Florian Wirtz hype and let Florian Wirtz try to be a good contributor to Liverpool team consistently. I think first and foremost, this is the first ask of Adoni Ariola. Can you get Florian Wirtz to contribute consistently to Liverpool? As in, whether it's offensive, whatever the requirements are. That's the first ask. Because, man, look like a bug, brother.
I thought we already determined that from last season.
No, no. You are on that one. I didn't cash that. I didn't punch that check. That's you and you only. I'm gonna leave that one over there. So I'm gonna give the player a chance. However, I saw him drinking Quenchade, aka the Jamaican version of Kool-Aid, or something looked like that. When he got sub, and maybe he should be spending more time on the bench so he can drink more of that liquid. He contributed absolutely nothing.
But he need a little bit. He need to get a little bit sugar in this system.
Need to get a little bit of sugar in the system. As it relates to the defense, it's game 1. We only have 1 data point, but hey, CM foolishness.
Yeah, because how ironic. Wasn't it the same way they started last year? Remember last year when Liverpool started? And it was, I think it was Bournemouth or one of them. I don't remember which game. But
It was Bournemouth. And it went back and forth. I think back and forth, up and down when Semenyo.
Right. And Liverpool and Liverpool fans were like, this high-flying Liverpool and blah, 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 blah. I was like, no, your defense should not be entertaining these kind of games. It's still a work in progress, though, and Iriola has a lot of work ahead of him. This is one of the unfortunate things, and we spoke about it Wednesday, and I kind of highlighted it. I want to soon hear about my team that I support, but I kind of precursored this weekend when I said Wednesday. I'm big up BM about as him see the Warriors give feedback, but I precursored it this weekend when I said Arsenal is the only team that is ready for the season. I wasn't going to judge Manchester City on based on the Community Shield because none of these teams are complete. And football has changed. 10, 15 years ago, the Community Shield signaled the start of the Premier League, start of European football for me. But this year and last year and years before, the Premier League don't really start until the international break when the transfer window closed. And we can't say the same about Liverpool because there's no way Ariola sit pat. No way, no how Liverpool have to be active in the transfer market.
Smash the like button, family. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. BCN Sports Ball Chat Weekly. We're recapping some of the major scores coming out of this weekend's EPL action. Big up BM. BM says, bug of the week. Manchester United. We'll get over there, sir. We'll soon jump over there, sir. A terrible start to the season. A terrible, you call it, BM? All right, before we unpack or leave this Liverpool versus Newcastle game, things that went well for these two teams. I mean, game 1, new managers, new locations. Any things that jumped out for you that you thought, you know what? Let's give Adoni Iriola, let's give Matthias Jaselli, new manager at Newcastle, a chance. We saw something there.
All right, let me go with Newcastle and their coach. What I liked is the start, and it's too easy. I think it's too low of a fruit to say, oh, it's because Alexander Isak coming back. That's why the Newcastle boys are up for it and they could get that early goal and jump on the front foot. No, I won't go that far. That's too low of a fruit. I'm going to say this speaks to their preparation. This speaks to the players tuning into what the coach has to say, and that's a big hint for what we're going to talk about later. Um, the players are locked in with the coach. For Liverpool, it's the opposite. Where Iriola, where I can say Liverpool did not quit on Iriola. They could have quit. I mean, the Stanislas they scored the penalty in stoppage time. They were down 2-1 at the time. Um, they could have easily quit and not fight and not go out and get the penalty because instead of an idiot coach, right? So I'm going to give both coaches the nod for in that aspect that they seem to have the pulse of the team. Still early, because we don't know when the honeymoon period is going to wear off and fade out and when rubber meets road. So, but that I'll give them that. The both teams fought, both teams looked prepared for the start of the season, even though they both have holes, but they fought through it.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, Mateus, new manager of Newcastle, they are game one and plus a preseason plus game one. Eddie Howe has been at this club for a while, significantly long time, and he kind of just it's like a slide into new shoes, just fit perfectly into that environment. The Magpie fan base was riled up, excited. Of course, yes, granted, Liverpool there's a significant sort of heated contest over between these two teams this last few years. However, I thought Mateus, the way he set up the team and had Osula dropping back and almost and Osula, young Osula looks like a very promising player. He provided the assist under a longer goal. Just dropping back and being able to hold up play and being able to lay the ball off. Excellent display. And then, also that he also, the coach Mateus Jacelli recognized, like, look, my greatest strength is getting my team running. Getting my runners running. Getting Elanga running. Getting Johan Wissa running. In fact, Johan Wissa still, the man missed goal. Want him. But he looked to be in good touch physically. And I thought that was good from the coach. So kudos to him. And we cannot ignore the fact that Newcastle played this game without two steals in their midfield. Two pillars in their midfield of last year. Sandro Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes. So not only has he lost major players over the years, but those two players were a huge part of this Newcastle foundation, Newcastle team this last season, right? And I thought
Not only that. Yeah, go ahead.
And I thought he did a very good job in just the way they set up. Took a little bit too long to make that sub. I think before the Cody Gakpo goal, probably should have subbed out a few pieces in that midfield. But I won't put that against him, because that shot from outside, match day one. So you go. You were saying.
But then Volta Mead, their big signing for last year, the hell to scratch.
Yeah, him can go on.
Yeah, but that kind of speak to new coach, new direction, and let's see how this story develops.
Yeah, but Voldemir not really the German Messi not really pull up roots with him play.
No, he hasn't. No,
but still though, back at Germany.
Yeah, but new coach, new players, you have to make that. Yeah, that's going to be a theme throughout the show today. New coach, new players, you have to make that eyebrow raising decision in the starting lineup or to your roster to kind of wake up your side and wake up the fan base, and it worked for both Newcastle and Liverpool. So, I could say.
Yeah. Now, as for just one quick point on Liverpool. Final point for me. I like Kumas. I like, Kumas. I thought he gave him a bit of strength in that midfield. Not strength, just more agility, more fluid movement in the ball. Victor Muniz looks like a decent transfer. Look like someone that could contribute to this team. And maybe Victor Muniz might push someone else for a starting role. We don't. Rio needs to start on the left. I think he's more impactful on the left. Play somebody else on the right and just keep it moving. If Rio is gonna start, he needs to start on the left. And it's hard. I don't want to give Donny Ariola any sort of negative thing. I don't want to focus on the defense because I have him in high regard as a coach. So I'm just going to leave that over there. So.
But then you talk about Rio need to go on the left. If Liverpool has their way in the transfer market, Barcola will be pulling up the shirt in the next couple of days.
All right.
So
what becomes a Rio then?
Yes, exactly. Rio better get used to the right.
All right. So there we go. You know what? And this is another foolish. How about you fix the defense?
That's why. That's why
he said that they have Araujo. So.
But that's why when you say that you don't want to pile on Ariola, then a question still have to be asked about what was it that held Liverpool back last season? What was it that cost Slot his comfort zone? I won't say cost him his job, because I think Slot cost himself the job. I don't think his coaching cost him the job. I think Slot cost him the job. But what is it that held Liverpool back from achieving what they want to achieve last year? Is it the defense? Is it the offense? Is it the midfield? Is it the transition? I would say it's the defense. I would have expected them to do what Real Madrid did this year. Just go all out, balls out on defense. So, but we'll see.
All right, moving on, football family. BCN Sports Ball Chat Weekly. Sunday show, 5 p.m. Smash the like button. Every Sunday we do this. Ballers and bugs, send on your ballers, send on your bugs. Man City versus Bournemouth, another game today, Junior. Ended in the 92nd minute. Goal by Guardiol for Man City, 2-1. Enzo Maresca, new coach, new places again. And new coaches, new places. Maresca at Man City and Marco Rose at Bournemouth. Your thoughts on these two managers, match one, EPL, and teams?
I found it. I found it to be looking at it from a Man City perspective. Because I know Bournemouth, for most of the game, for 75% of the game, the talks were how Bournemouth is going to do the impossible and achieve their first win over Man City at the Etihad, anywhere. I think they said it would have been their first win over Man City ever. So they were on their way to doing that. From a Bournemouth perspective, it just looked like last year, regardless of coach, regardless of is a team that is almost. It's just almost. They just need a little bit more. But for Man City though, it's a funny thing to me, because we're gonna talk about Phil Foden. Probably I wouldn't even waste more than 2 minutes talking about Phil Foden. But why did he start? What was Maresca trying to prove when he started him? Also, what was Maresca trying to prove when he put on Jack Grealish? Now, granted, Man City won the game, but this is what Pep Guardiola was protecting Man City from. Pep Guardiola was protecting Man City from themselves. Pep Guardiola is a big time coach, a big team coach, and understands big team atmosphere. Man City wanted to become a big team and wanted to have a big team atmosphere, but they also wanted to appease their fans. And to appease your fans, you have to have local players. You have to have the British born and British pushed players. And I think that's what Maresca kind of fell in that trap. And I think warning signs are screaming and blaring out there for this could be the start of a slip for Man City. And it's not because of talent. It's because of a team that is trying to put on like they are bigger than they really are, and they don't have a coach that can suppress those feelings. So that's what I'm saying. It's a funny game. Even at one point, the analyst during the game was saying, "Oh, Enzo Maresca, he's sticking to his two pivot, to his two defensive midfielders when he doesn't have to, and blah 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 blah." And then at the end, like he said something like, basically paraphrasing, can't really complain because them win, but something seems to be said about Maresca sticking to his plan. And if he didn't, the analyst didn't say it in a way that was celebratory, I didn't say it in a way that was condescending. He said it in a way of make a wait and see. So that's where I am with Man City. That's where I am with this game. They won the game. They did what most of the big teams in EPL couldn't do this weekend, which was figure out a way to win their game. But it's a wait and see for this experiment.
Man City. Whew. So I listened to the Maresca post-match press conference. First and foremost, Bournemouth, Marco Rose. This before I touch Man City, Bournemouth and Marco Rose. I'm not convinced by Marco Rose. I will wait before making any broad conclusions regarding Marco Rose. So and the reason why I say I'm not convinced of him is because I felt like he was on the rise in the German coaching circle, in the German league, and then he plummeted after after he got elevated to bigger jobs, and then he kind of plummeted. Now, the German league, you don't really expect to win some games. You just go play a ball game, and you're not gonna beat Bayern Munich. But what has happened at Bournemouth is that Adoni Ariola has built a culture where every week and week in and week out, you expect to compete. You expect to win probably. Maybe you definitely expect to beat some of the big boys. And they have done that under Adoni Ariola. And I'm not certain Marco Rose is the man to carry that legacy on of expecting and winning against the big boys. Because I saw today, like, Regin, you're leading this team, Man City. You have Tyler Adams sitting on your bench. You want to get some steal in this midfield. Man City's midfield is garbage. As well, Rodri is not in there. Roger, and then you put him on late. Stuff like that you want to notice in the football game. And I thought that based on things that you would have seen from Ariola. I know that each manager want to take their own path or do whatever, but sometimes learn and build from what has been done before. This midfield, this Bournemouth midfield, excel with Tyler Adams in it. And, he put him on late in the game, 75th minute. Tyler Adams need to be on the field. Lewis Cook and Scott was there, so Marco Rose, you have got to convince me say you can really continue the legacy of winning football games at that Adoni Ariola implemented at Bournemouth. As for Man City, it's probably more of the same. Enzo Maresca is highly regarded in some coaching circles, in some circles. Definitely Man City brass thinks highly of him. But ultimately, bug of the week, Enzo Maresca started Rico Lewis at right back. Rico Lewis was culpable, I think, in both goals. If not both goals, or in the one goal. Not both goals. Culpable because he kept going too far in. And we have seen this Rico Lewis experiment before with Pep. And Pep said, go and hold a seat. I think the last time Rico Lewis started or appeared for Man City was in January. So now you, Enzo Maresca, thinks you're smarter than everybody. You forward now and start Rico Lewis. It's the same Rico Lewis.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I don't understand. Like, I know you want to lay down your own marker, but don't keep doing the same foolishness. Same thing with Phil Foden. Phil Foden cannot be the linchpin in an attacking team. He needs somebody to pull players off of him. So if you're gonna play Phil Foden, you need to play Ryan Cherokee or someone else to pull defenders off of him. But no, you start Rico Lewis, Antoine Semenyo, Nick O'Reilly. Yo, them should get them teeth kicked out.
Yeah.
And when you watch the game, I thought like the sentiments in the Etihad, the vibes in the Etihad was like, yo, this is bad football. Until Ryan Cherokee and the subs enter the game.
I'm bad. I agree. And it's a weird kind of bad. That's why I say kind of funny. And that's why I say it's like I'm in a wait and see mode for this Man City experiment. I think a lot of people are as well. And one of the key things to me was when it was, I think it was 1-1 at the time. It was 1-1 at the time. When right after City equalized, Bournemouth went into like a 5-minute stretch where it became a tit for tat back and forth. But Bournemouth was kind of like revving back up, trying to find that second goal. And there was a moment when I saw Bournemouth playing the ball out the back. And they moved the ball, got the ball to the goalkeeper, Petrovic. Petrovic was to the right of the 6-yard box. Petrovic moved the ball out to the wing back. The wing back get the ball into Cook. Cook did turn over the ball. That's when City had the turnover. Cook was flailing on the ground, acting like an injured get up back, right? And then the very next more play, and this is why it stood out in my mind. The very next possession, because I think the ball went out for a goal kick, or that was when Semenyo fouled the youth going down the right side when he thought it was going to be a camp. Whatever. Bournemouth got the ball back. The very next possession, trying to play the ball out the back, and the ball got to the left back, and there was no blue shirt in sight. And I was thinking to myself, like, this is the Etihad. The sky blue shirt of Man City hasn't changed. A year ago, not even a year ago, 6 months ago, Man City used to have this mentality of we don't like not having the ball. It's one thing to love possessing the ball, but it's another thing to not like. They hate not having the ball. So they used to press. It was a crazy kind of heavy metal, not heavy metal, but a crazy type of press. When they didn't have possession, they used to hunt the ball. Hunt it. And then it's like you saw Man City literally sitting back and what? I would say, yo, this is not Manchester City. So we'll see.
We'll see. Two things before we leave this Man City thing and this game, Bournemouth versus Man City. Two things. Mark Guehi, at the post-match press conference, just give you a bit of background. A few weeks ago, Enzo Maresca, who likes to speak his mind at these press conferences, he said that they will find a solution for Rodri. Today, he moved Mark Guehi into midfield. He also, when asked about this at today's post-match press conference, he said, he's been at Crystal Palace, he's watched Mark Guehi, and he always felt like Mark Guehi could be a midfielder. He's looking to solve problems. He's looking for solutions. Because Mark Guehi brings a level of aggression in that. Do you see Mark Guehi as a midfielder?
Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no. And this is the problem with Maresca. And this is the thing that I think Slot was so masterful at when he came at Liverpool. The impression I got from Slot when he came to Liverpool was, I ain't changing nothing. This is a well-oiled machine. Me not changing. So I make a little part here, so I move a little part here, so. But we just flow and see how. Let me see how the flow runs first before I start tinkering. And he didn't. He went the whole season without needing to tinker. Maresca come in right at in the first instant. It's almost like Maresca. What I'm getting from Maresca is, I sat down when I made my mutual agreement with Chelsea to take away myself, and I sat down and I watched Man City for 4 months, And I said to myself, if I was a coach, I would do blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah, 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 blah,
These are
blah.
the things I was.
These are the, so the first thing him do, yo, ready up. You know what that remind me of? Rudolph Speed and Jamaica.
Well,
No, seriously, it sounds funny. But seriously, you come in and think you are the big genius in the room, and I'm going to move Mark Guehi to midfield. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start Rico Lewis on the right back. And I'm going to prove to Pep Guardiola that I can get Rico Lewis to play well. I'm going to prove to Pep Guardiola I can get Phil Foden going again.
why? But why this obsession with this particular baller? Look on the evidence in front of you and keep it moving.
I told you this is what Pep protected Man City from. I am 1,000,000% sure this is what is going on. And I can prove it to you. Look at when Man City became a profitable company, a money team. You remember who was Man City's coach when they became the money squad? It was Mark Hughes. And Mark Hughes failed because he couldn't get it was Steve Ireland at the time, but you had the British youth them. You had what American black youth name?
All right, Junior.
Sean
All
Wright
right,
Phillips.
those are the views. Sean Wright Phillips, yeah. Sean Wright Phillips.
You had Wright Phillips. You had
I don't know why you have to say why my look a black youth name.
But he is black and he's small. But I mean, you get what I'm saying though. They tried with Mark Hughes. Then them say, you know what, Mark Hughes, this is a too big of a going for you. I don't remember if it was I don't remember if the Italian they come after that. But anyway, they tried, they got to Pep, and Pep came in and said, I'm gonna do it my way. I am Pep Guardiola. I'll do it my way. So I discovered Phil Foden. Phil Foden a ton of bug, runway. Only like Jack Grealish, because Jack Grealish is the next David Beckham. But bring him in, him not good enough. Runway. Now you remove Pep Guardiola out the room. Now you bring in a coach that you can kind of push around. All right, listen Enzo Maresca. You're not selling seats like Pep Guardiola, you know. They're not coming for watch you. So I want my British players then to get the hype now. And that is what Maresca running in. Remember me tell you that.
Yo, the man Maresca run off his mouth at Chelsea. So the Chelsea Maresca run off his mouth a few years ago is a different Maresca now. Because when the Chelsea Maresca announced himself, he said, I have X amount of players. I don't care about this, that, and the other. And this now leads me to the next question. He seems to be hell-bent on including certain players. And I don't know if it's excluded. Ryan Cherokee, explain to me I am quite puzzled what is going on with Ryan Cherokee. Why does Ryan Cherokee start for Man City or didn't start? He had the most assists for them last year. When asked about this at the post-match press conference, I know we're doing a lot about Man City, but we soon take ourselves. He said that when Cherokee doesn't start, Cherokee let everyone know. You pretty paraphrase. You can tell by his demeanor. Pretty much he's like a child. And that's the way I read into it. His antics, his facial expression on the bench, blah, blah, blah. But he came on, he stayed ready. He came on, he entered the game, and he made an impact. This is what I demand and expect. If you are Ryan Cherokee, and you sat on that bench, Junior, you watched this Man City team. And he also alluded, as in Enzo Maresca said, you know, he played 4 players who weren't really match fit. So if he put our season ready, if he put in Cherokee, it would have been another player, 5 player. Take me into the mind of Ryan Cherokee Jr. when you hear a manager saying that. You are the most creative player in this team. You had 12 assists. The club lead in 12 assists last year. You have a striker who's not getting any service. And you are sitting on it. What do you do?
Look, but tell you, Pep Guardiola protected a lot of crap at Man City, and I'm going to keep pointing back to that. It is not ironic, and I sent the video from that documentary they're doing for
Yeah.
for Man City. I sent the video, and it's not ironic that they released that video. Is them release the video, and it's not me. Oh, this is just bad timing, or is ironic, or this them released this a month ago, and me just find it. No, they released it this week, talking about Ryan Cherky and how the scouts were like, "Yo, it's a good baller, but
Yeah, and his stats are, right there with Kevin De Bruyne about the head.
but
Yeah,
but the head, the
about
head,
the head.
and then 3 4 days later, I'm not starting another game.
But
When
Junior, he
last year,
literally changed that game for them.
no, I agree. I
No, no,
agree
no. I'm not saying
100%.
that. I'm not
No, he did.
going
No,
at
no, no.
you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
did. But last year, this is the same Ryan Cherky that did the jersey swap or put on the etiquette jersey, sitting on the Man City
We're on the
bench.
Man City bench.
And Pep, way up at top. And it's almost like Pep put him hand way up at top and grab him by him throat and say, "What you do?" But then remember, we never hear nothing else about that. From that, and they had the video. I think Pep was suspended that game, and Pep they way up into the booth, and they must catch a camera. The camera caught him and looked down like, "Yo, boy, I kill this brother." And this is the same Pep Guardiola that said Ryan Cherky. Sometimes when he said paraphrase, sometimes you want to kiss him, or sometimes you want to cry, or something like that. Remember, Pep made that comment about Cherky last year. So I don't think that is Pep Guardiola picking on Turkey. I think that is Pep Guardiola seeing the potential in Turkey, but having to deal with the board behind him. Like, yo, we don't want to bring it up on the field. This man is bad for business. This man is bad for branding or whatever. You remove Pep out the conversation and put in Maresca, who is not as savvy, who doesn't have the CV of Pep, where he can look at a report and say, me decide when Cherky play. That's it. Done. So you don't have to explain himself. Watch the space. I expect Cherky and Mariska to go at it all season. Watch the space.
Watch the space. I would too, because if I am not sitting on any bench and watching Bug, Phil Foden, and Antoine Semenyo run up and down on field while Miss Wrong there. Yo, come on, man.
Hey, you see the ball? You saw the ball where Cherky try get Jack Grealish after him get the ball like bigger.
Yeah,
When Holland did take down the ball, get Cherky, and then Holland made the run, but Cherky wanted to give Holland the ball, but the defender them crowd him, and Cherky started look up and see Grealish run by himself and chip the ball. And Grealish look like me trying to run down a
yeah,
football
can't
right now.
reach.
Jesus!
Can't reach.
Hey,
Up to now, him
what
still
did
a
I?
run. And then him just can't,
He's like,
can't. And then
man, watch
Charity's
him and
like, yo, move on. All right.
watch the
We have to
space.
get wrap more. We have to move a little bit quicker with these. I know it's our opening weekend, but we have a lot.
We just cut out some of the news, because all our show.
We have to move. All right, Aston Villa, Brighton, 4-0. Junior, quickly, we're
Big
going quick hits.
backside.
The big thing. Unai Emery missed his baller today. Well, it seems like he's on the way out. Mr. Ollie Watkins. When asked about this, there's a report that he's heading to Saudi League. When asked about this, Unai Sefe asks Ali why he's not in the match squad today. Junior, how does Aston Villa survive this year? Ali Watkins is leaving. Morgan Rogers left. Emi Martinez looks like he's on his way out. What happened with that Juve medical? With other key pieces leaving, and of course Leon Bailey.
What? Yeah. Okay.
What? How does, and of course all of this to achieve and get in line with Premier League sustainability and profitability rule and the UEFA 70% cost squad ratio rule.
Now, to be fair, we asked the same question last year. The same exact question was asked last year. How does Aston Villa survive? So until they die, I'm going to trust Unai Emery. We saw this when Unai Emery played the back three. You remember when he played the back three high line?
Yeah.
And teams that are run through him because the Joe Gomez red card, people might say, oh, it's because Aston Villa was down to 10 men. No. Brighton had scored off 4 goals before the red card. So Brighton actually took their foot off the gas. They probably could have given him 10. So he is Unai Emery just no, all right.
And then, of
Preseason
course,
is
add
one.
in Ezra Konsa joined Arsenal.
Yeah. I mean, Unai Emery knows we have a lot of work ahead of us. But I think he's a good enough coach to turn it around. Now, what does turn it around mean? It's too early to say they can't make it to Europe. It's too early to say that to guarantee they won't get relegated. I don't know where they fit somewhere in between. Battle of relegation and back of a top 6. Aston Villa's fit somewhere in between. And over the next couple of weeks, we'll know. But one thing is for sure, they need to move the assets they need to move so they can bring in the assets they need to bring in that can help them overturn a 4-0 drubbing.
Junior, listen to this. This is from uh a direct quote from Nick Master of BBC on Aston Villa situation. It says, quote, they must comply with UEFA's squad cost ratio, which restricts them to spending 70% of their football related revenue. They've already been fined twice by UEFA. £9.5 million sanction last year and £19.5 million fine this June. Although 12.9 million of that 19 was suspended after Villa came to a settlement agreement with the Euro. Junior, how does Villa survive this? How do you keep players? What?
We will see. I say it again. The same thing was asked of him 2 years ago, and they made it to Champions League, right? And they even got it. They even got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League and lost out to the eventual champions. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. They could be what we saw with Southampton for a while, what we saw with under Eddie Howe, with which wherever Eddie Howe was before Newcastle. I don't know why I forget.
The Cherries. Wasn't he
It was
at
Bournemouth? Yeah,
Bournemouth?
Bournemouth. Yeah. So it could be that, and eventually the luck will run out because the chances of you skating are towing the line with Rasta movements and hitting it big. Because for Aston Villa to turn this around, they need to hit it big on their next Rasta movements. They can't have any flop signings. They can't have any signings that take a while to hit. They have to hit the ground running. So eventually the luck will run out. But we can see if it's this year.
Premier League sustainability, profitability, and sustainability rules limit financial losses to a maximum of £105 million rolling over a 3-year period. In their last accounts, ending 30th of June, Villa had a post-tax profit of £17 million, but the 2 previous years they showed loss of 119 in 2023 and £85 million in 2024. An executive at Villa says, it doesn't seem that slightly unfair there have been ambition capped at this level. That's what the executive, their ambition has been capped at this level. Some players will be forced to leave because of PSR, and some will be leaving because of demand. And it's combined, it makes a difficult problem for Emery to swallow and try and replace his players.
He signed up for it though. He signed up for it and he's been doing it for 2 years, 3 years. Actually, what, 4 years?
Yeah. Oh boy, you win a Europa League, and your side just got it's Villa fans. Find some money, brother. Find some money. All right, quick hits. Let's run through the other Premier League results, Junior. Let's head over to Saturday's game. We're not waste a whole heap of time. Your team, Manchester United, talked away. All is not lost, Junior, but pick up a two, two, two from newly promoted Hull City. Scratch the league. Hull is fourth Champions League. Junior, talk to me. What happened?
Man U run into a team that was newly promoted, and the man them catch them napping and kick out them teeth. I won't, but not gonna go overboard because honestly, I was hoping Man U would win. We're not going to sit down and act like, oh, I'm surprised or whatever. I'm not surprised. I won't act like that either. However, warning flags are up. For me, warning flags are up. And like that's what BM says, bug of the week, Manchester United, terrible start to the season. Warning flags are up. There are a lot of questions that need to be answered for Manchester United, and they don't have enough time. So, look, I think they will still finish top 5 by de facto. But Carrick has a lot of work ahead of him. Simple.
Oh boy. 2 defenders. The man them planned for Carrick. Definitely. Yeah. Hey, Hull, coach, big up to Hull. Very good planning strategy. I mean, Junior, definitely. He saw the tape and Jerikovich, set up his team, in a smart way, and they won the game. Kudos to them. Man United, going back on the yard, brother. Going back.
Yeah.
Going back. I was disappointed with Cunha and Mbombo. I did felt like, you know what? Let me leave that. I'll deal with that later. You know what? Why is Patrick Dorgu starting over Marcus Rashford?
Why is Marcus Rashford still on the team?
Because he's on a contract.
Yeah. No. Nah. Manu is just disjointed, and it is. We'll see.
All right. I don't want to send a bit of blood pressure. Let's keep moving. All right. Another surprise of this weekend EPL action. Spurs got a 3-piece meal from Brentford. De Zerbi said he was extremely disappointed, Junior. Extremely disappointed. Then he went on to list all the players that they had last year at this time and the new players that they transferred in. De Zerbi is already forwarding with his excuses, Junior.
It's not an excuse. That's reality. And another angle to that reality is you did not prepare them well. So yes, you can't talk about bringing in new players and Ray. But at the end of the day, their players stood up and looked into your players' eyes and said, "We're going to kick your ass." And your players turned over and bent over and obliged. That is on you and your players. So it doesn't matter. This is not a system thing. This is not a X's and O's thing. This is player for player, pound for pound, and who have pride and who don't have pride. And your new players just show up and lay an egg. It's not that dissimilar from the Man U story. It's not that dissimilar from the Aston Villa story, but it's a little bit different for Tottenham because you were recruited by Tottenham because the coach came in, found a way to survive a season when they were supposed to be relegated, found a way to survive, and then the coach come in now and call up on the phone. It's like me calling Benton and say, "Yo, Benton, you hear me now? You, like the whole world, see what happened last year at Tottenham, last season, right? They said, yeah, well, here what? I need you to come and fix this for me. You are the guy that can fix this for me. Are you willing to come in and fix this for me? Because the Tottenham fans are proud. They say, yes, coach, I'm ready. I'm fired up. Blah, blah, blah. First game of the season. Kick in your body. And the Tottenham fans, them sit on like this. yo, the Tottenham. You heard what the fans were singing, right?
No.
Thomas Frank is laughing at you. La 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 la.
And this is game 1. When you look at Deserby's subs, he took off his entire right side. Moore, Bergerville, Archie, the entire right side of the team got subbed. And he spoke at this press conference, says, yeah, I'm going to have to talk about Bergerville. I'm going to have to talk about Moore. I'm going to have to talk about Gray. I'm like, Deserby. Bruh, in preseason, you were flying high, man. You were beating and teaching. No, what happened?
Yeah.
Big up to Brentford. Brentford did well. Keith Andrews continued to do the work. Excellent start. Ethan Pinnock didn't see the field, Junior, but you know what? Let's see if Ethan Pinnock will remain at Brentford this year. But kudos. And, Isadora Thiago looks comfortable. We're at Brentford. This is his level. We saw him at the World Cup. Yeah, for Brazil. Yeah, this is what he does best. Physical, especially against teams like Tottenham. Yep. All right, any other Premier League result from we have to, before we exit the Premier League recap, family, we have to say something about the champs, the defending champion, Arsenal Football Club, 3-0 Junior on Friday. Kai, Saka, and Odegaard with the goals.
Arsenal and their fans can sit down now and say, you know what? This is the new norm. We are the new norm. And I think because before it would have been Arsenal win, but. Yeah, they look good, but wait until. There's no longer any more wait until. They are the new standard bearer. And I think the players and the coaching staff believe that. That's not only the fact, they know they are. They are aware of it. So you telling them that, they're going to look at you and be like, yeah, I know that. That's what we expect to be, which is different than years prior. So Arsenal, they're on a different level right now.
Very good start to the season. But there's not all lovey-dovey in the camp of Arsenal. Ian Wright, interesting comments about Gabriel Martinelli Jr. He felt like the club is not being doing right by Gabriel Martinelli, a servant of the club, someone who's, according to Ian, nobody not chat to him, aka he's been iced out, and the communication walls are shut. Arteta has a different approach. I say, we have to accept reality, blah 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 blah, and we're not. Junior, any thoughts on Gabriel Martinelli? Ian Wright went on to say, look, you went after Vinicius, happened. You signed Christos Zolis. Vinicius, so Vinicius didn't join. Zolis is new. Can't you use Martinelli? Junior, your thoughts?
Ian Wright, feel free to come on BallChat and share your weekly thoughts, because that's just as much weight as what you said carries. I mean, you said it was trouble in the camp. Which camp? The fan base.
It's not all Rose. Rose. I mean,
yeah, but that is
give me 1 second.
For, yeah, but like Benton says, it's not all roses, but this is for the fan base. This has nothing to do with the Arsenal squad. And the fact that Arteta say, yo, it is what it is, and life goes on and we move on, that shows that Arsenal has I would say, created or built or acquired that ruthless gene that is needed to be a perennial champion. And you've been a good servant, brother, and you did your best. We would have never been where we are right now if it wasn't for the efforts of Gabriel Martinelli et al. But we move on, and time goes on. So big up Ian Wright. Ian Wright clearly rates Martinelli. I think a lot of people out there rate Martinelli. Videos resurface about with what them name AFTV. Well, this is when it was Arsenal Fan TV, way back when when Arsenal was thinking about going for Kylian Mbappe, and they did a poll out saying, "Would you give up Gabriel Martinelli to get Kylian Mbappe?" And I wouldn't say majority, but I think the voting was close. And if memory serves me correct, I think majority of the people that took part in that poll voted to stick with Martinelli. So that is how much he is loved. And that's the context behind what Ian Wright is saying. And maybe Ian Wright is one of those that took part in the poll and voted for Martinelli. So that is one of his ballers, clearly. And he's just speaking out for his baller. He clearly got some inside information. Look here, what he said. He clearly get some information about how he's being treated and felt the need to sound out about it. But the beauty about it is there's nobody in the Arsenal camp that is saying, Ian Wright is right publicly. So that is between Ian Wright and the fan base. It has nothing to do with Arsenal. Life goes on.
It seems like also a Turkish club was interested in the services, or is interested in services of Gabriel Martinelli. Al Hilal also submitted a bid. Bala no one got in place. Bala one, Let's see. More to come regarding Gabriel Martinelli and other transfer news as we approach the transfer window. Junior, final wrap. First weekend, of course, one more game left for this round of EPL action. Tomorrow, Chelsea will take on Fulham. Also, new coaches in new places. Alvaro Arbiola at Fulham and Xabi Alonso at Chelsea. For your final thoughts on this weekend's EPL action, family.
A lot of incomplete teams, a lot of hodgepodge teams, and right now they need to all be thinking to themselves, how can we maintain course? How can we stay the course and figure things out as we grow? That is where I leave with it. And there's a need for some people to overreact. I won't overreact one way or the other. That this early.
Interesting. I will say good start for teams that will be in a relegation battle.
Yeah. Yes.
You want to try to catch the so-called big teams if you play them early in the season, napping, because some of these big teams, the players, were at the World Cup and subsequently they arrived late, so the team dynamics is incomplete in some of those big teams. So the whole city of the world, I suspect Forest will be in a relegation battle. You want to try to catch any winner, stack as many points as you can. And I think Hull City, big up yourself, ball of the week to Hull City for getting those 3 points. Leeds defeated Oliver Glasner's Forest. That's an interesting one. We're going to keep an eye on. I'm going to keep an eye on regarding Oliver Glasner and this Nottingham Forest, because we know Marinakis is not a fan.
He wants Champions League next year, and he believes he can play the Champions League next year.
He's not that type of manager to owner who sits and just, make things go. So good start to the season. All right, let's step over to German Super Cup Junior quickly. 2-1 Bayern Munich over Dortmund. Goals from Mr. Michael Olise, the winning goal from Michael Olise, and Nathaniel Brown, the goal scorers for Bayern, and Fabio Silva, the goal scorer for Dortmund. Thought it was a good game, personally. I thought it was a very good game. I will say that Bayern Munich, when I watch Bayern Munich play, I am not watching them in the context of that game. I'm watching them, how will they go up against a PSG, the bigger teams for Champions League. And I thought Bayern Munich was a little bit open. Was a
Yeah.
little bit too open in that game. So, Dortmund was a bit wasteful in front of goal. So, your thoughts on that one?
I I kind of look at it different than how you look at it.
Okay.
I would judge, not say that you were judging them, but you're looking at Bayern through two lenses. It's like, all right, well, watch you play right now, but then I know you are heads and shoulders above your whole league. Let's look and see how you play. And ironically, you pick PSG, who is also head and shoulders over their whole league, and the only games they're going to play is Champions League. That's worth any substance. So, I I think company came with this stigma that he can fix defenses, or he's a defensive minded coach. And when I sit down and think about it, is there any evidence that will lead me to think that he's a defense? Why? Just because he's a arguably great defender of a very good defender in his day. I wouldn't say one of the greatest of all time, but he's for his generation, he's a very good defender, and he's a very good leader of men as a captain. Does that translate to you being a defensive coach? Not necessarily. So I wouldn't. Bayern is just being Bayern. No, the Hilta Musiala to me is a bigger story.
Yeah.
With what going on with him, because I think he came out and said that he has some
Seizures.
disorder and something like that. Some neurological
seizures,
disorder.
Yeah.
And he's trying, that is fixable apparently, and they're going to try to treat it. But I think Bayern is loaded enough where while Musiala is on the men, they will be okay in the Bundesliga. Champions League is a different story though, because that's when rubber meets road, and you better can defend, and they better learn to defend. So
Yeah, I have to send all the best to Jamal Musiala as he goes through this health scare. But he seems pretty confident in the message he posted. The player said on Instagram post after the collapse against Heidenheim on Tuesday, quote, he had been diagnosed with absence seizures caused by neurological dysfunction, but there was no additional health risk and that he intends to keep playing as before, just to paraphrase. And, it's been reported that they have been dealing with it all season, so it's it's something that with the right tools, with the access to some medical tools, they can, he's exactly where he needs to be to get the best treatment possible.
yep.
Yeah, good luck to Jamal Musiala. Such a talented kid. Big up, Frana. Big up. Says I'm not sure about City this year, not because of the players, but because of the coach. I'm not sure about him for this team. Yep. See him here.
And BM also said ball of the week is for Javan. He scored in the first leg of the Champions League playoffs, earning Beersheva a 2-1 win over Kahim Paris Sabah. We'll talk about that a little bit in Yawd Ballers.
In the Yawd Ballers. We will highlight that at Yawd Ballers. Over in La Liga, family, before we go to Yawd Ballers, of course, we have to touch Real Madrid. The special one secured a 2-1 victory. Special one, José Mourinho's Real Madrid secured a 2-1 victory over Espanyol. Your thoughts, Junior? Barcelona defeated Elche 5-0. Atletico Madrid 2-2 with Villarreal.
There's jokes all around with Real Madrid, and that's in its own box. But we have to highlight Atletico Madrid, because we talked about this on Wednesday when La Liga kicked off. I will talk about how Atletico Madrid, they need to find some consistency is this the year where they can find where they can catch the big boys napping? Can they go out there and hit the ground running? Are they the most complete team in terms of coaching and blah 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 blah? We said that, right? And they kicked off the season with a win. And they just come and draw with Villarreal.
Is that a
You draw with
depth
Villarreal.
issue though?
Huh?
Is that a depth issue for Atletico Madrid?
Yes,
Too
because
quick a
they need
turnaround
to figure
time.
they need to figure out Julian Alvarez. They need to figure out Alvarez. They need to figure him out. Like, is he staying? Is he going? Figure him out, right? And I don't think I don't know if it's depth or if it's just you have a roster that is not used to winning or not used to consistency. Because remember, that's all kind of Cholo kind of coaches inconsistently, you know. And sometimes that seeps into the DNA, but we'll see how that goes. Um, as for Real Madrid, yes, they won the game. Yes, they found a way to come back and win. But the biggest joke for me was Jose Mourinho came out after the game and said, um, the fans and other players of other teams are bullying Vinny Jr. I mean, that's just comedy gold. Because wasn't it you and your team couple months ago was bullying Vinny Jr. And one of your players went too far and suffered the consequences and actually changed football, international football. It changed the way how for international football will be adjudicated. That game, you are the coach that is responsible for the change in football, and now you come back and the sugar up on the other foot. Oh, you know, other players and other teams and other fans, they like to bully Vinny Jr. It's the biggest joke ever. It's the biggest joke ever. But Real Madrid, they found a way to win at the death. 2-1, and it's going to be comedy all around. Barca just, if Barca catch a team with them short tier, they are going to kill them.
Two things before we leave: Vinny Jr. and Real Madrid, and Jose Mourinho's coming. I mean, wouldn't Jose Mourinho be perfectly positioned to know that they were bullying Vinny since he was the coach on the other side, that
Exactly.
Gianluca Prestiani?
Yep.
All right, and then
So he knows.
as for Barcelona, the issue around a lack of signing a number 9. Will they go out and get a 9 this year before the window closes?
I think they will. I think there's a surprise coming though. I don't
Okay.
have any proof of it, but it just feels this whole thing just kind of feel to me like there's a surprise coming. And I think they're going to be going back in for Rashford. I
Oh
think.
my God, no! Why would they?
Why not?
Leave it. You know what? Let me stay out of Barcelona football business. I'm gonna leave that over there, sir. Let me stay right out of Barcelona football business. Um, Junior, you finished, boss?
Yeah, I'm
You
done.
finished?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to football in our own backyard and discuss you know the U14 tournament just took place earlier, over the last few weeks. It's a tournament where another life would be heavily involved. Young Reggae Boys suffered a defeat against Haiti earlier. Of course, you can check it out on the CFU U14 Challenge. The Haiti led that game 4-0 at one time. I need to pull the score here. Um, let's see if they have the latest score. Junior, the thing that struck me in the game was just the Haiti is doing something real good with seems to be limited resources at the youth level.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because of the timing and with what's going on culturally and in the real world for Haiti. And it seems like this is an outlet for people, for Haitians, for their athletes and for just their citizens. So it's a good thing. I'm curious to know how long it will last though. Because we've seen each level of Haitian football. There's something there. They are doing something right. And I don't know what it is. I'm curious to know what it is, but they are doing something right in Haiti.
Yeah, so congrats to Haiti. You know, they were crowned champions of Tier 1 division of the 2026 CFU Boys U14 Challenge Series after commanding 4-0 victory over Jamaica in the final. They were impressive. I watched a piece of that game back and forth while I was watching, I think, another a professional game, and I was like, these youngsters out of Haiti are doing something special. I was a bit surprised the margin of victory.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bit surprised. I cannot deny it because Jamaican team, I mean, very talented group of players, but however, I was like, the first goal Haiti scored, and it kind of like, okay. The young reggae boys could not navigate from there. And it just kept
Yeah.
going.
I'm BM highlighting something there, talking about the Haitian team missing out on the under 20 World Cup on penalties. So overall, I would say they have the best football program in the Caribbean. Um,
They probably are, Junior.
yeah, they are on the yes. That's a loaded
No, they
statement because
probably are. I mean, who's youth football?
yeah, they are. So then and then and you know, and I think we need yes, and yeah. So no, actually, BM, I apologize. I apologize. And you know what? People, anytime it's a BM type something in a chat, you take it. Sometimes you don't take things like with a grain of salt. When BM chat, you take it like it's the whole ocean worth of salt, and I really meds it. And I stupidly was questioning whether Haiti is the best football program in the Caribbean. They are without a doubt. It's heads and shoulders above everybody else. So yes. Now I am curious to know what they are doing and the cynic this will be cynical. This is a cynical statement, Benton. I'm wondering if they are forced to stay together longer because of what's going on in the island.
Maybe. And
And they get a chance to build chemistry. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to joke around or to sound. It's more cynic. It's more a cynical statement. But I really think there's something to that. I really think, and I'm curious to know what they are doing in terms of youth development because it's one thing we know, and no money doing it. And for all those people, I would know come on, fight in the fight. But you have a lot of people that will look at come on and say, yo, the money is not there. Or come on, say we need this, we need that, we need that. The money is not there. I don't think there's anybody in Haiti that is saying the money is here. So how are they getting from point A to point F where they are while Jamaica can't reach point B?
yeah, we're gonna have to do a deep dive in this Haiti model and how what they're doing because and it's not just unique to boys or men football. I mean, you see that on the
Right,
women's side of things too.
right.
So we have to take a deep dive. But congrats to them on winning the U14 challenge. The young reggae boys finished second. One also tell the young reggae boys keep at it. Keep at it, keep at it. Don't lose hope. Don't take the defeat to heart. I mean, defeats like these should hopefully build courage and character.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's unfortunate that would be we're saying that for all the teams at every level except the under 17 right now.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, man, Haiti's doing something very. They're doing something very very good over there, and and let's see what happened to Mr. Celestine, who's in Jamaican Premier League. We want to keep an eye on him. We saw him in the just concluded qualifiers of what the U20s, a youngster. So, all right, continuing our football discussion in our own backyard as we push up against the clock. First Sunday back, so we'll have more stories. Junior, you highlighted Javon East earlier. Javon East as it BM.
Oh, yes, BM saying that, yeah.
Javon East.
So Javon East scored and helped his team in the Champions League.
Yeah,
In the Champions League.
Sheva. One side name Beer.
Yeah, Beersheva, yeah. Beersheva.
Beersheva.
They had a 2-1 win over Kahim Paris' Sabah. So Jamaicans everywhere though.
Yes.
Jamaicans doing everywhere. I think Norwich. Didn't Norwich just sign I'm pretty sure Norwich signed a Jamaican baller. And BM would be able to back me up on that.
Brooks signed for Norwich. Andre Brooks, is he really a Jamaican baller though?
I think he's a capped reggae boy, isn't he?
Yeah. Andre Brooks signed. So Norwich, Andre Brooks is over there. They signed international winger Andre Brooks in June of this year. Is at Norwich. Jamaican Premier League coming up. We'll do more coverage of Jamaican Premier League. We saw Andre Fletcher. Yeah, go ahead, Junior.
It should kick off today.
Weird.
It's today the Premier League started up. And I'm on fire on the Premier League website. The man didn't have nothing updated about it. It's starting to have me wondering right now. Is it really starting today?
Junior, are you sure about that? Yep. Wait. No. Jamaican Premier League didn't kick off today, Junior. It's on too hot.
So when Premier League start?
September.
There's a Gleaner article saying it starts August 23rd. 2026. JP Nationwide 90 says. So I'm curious to know what happened with the Premier League kickoff. Because the 2026-2027 Jamaican Premier League season would officially kick off on August 23rd with an exciting slate full of 7 matches as clubs begin their quest for domestic glory. Unless this is this is not an old lot. This is from big up Alric Swaby, August 4th. Saying defending champions Portmore United will launch their defense of their title against Waterhouse at Ferdinita Park in one of the headline fixtures of the opening round. Elsewhere, Dumbo Holding will entertain Cavalier, while Tivoli Gardens take on Humble Lion. Racing United will battle Arnett Gardens as Molines squares off against Treasure Beach. Newly promoted True Juice will host title contenders Mount Pleasant, while Montego Bay United welcome Chapeltown Maroons. All 7 matches are slated to kick off simultaneously at 3:30 p.m. Wagwan for Jamaican Premier League.
All right, we have to go make a chat growing at the field. Go see if no ball play.
You like some scabbing that go on.
Okay, Joe. Okay. BM says I respect East. At 30 years old, he decided to go to Europe and challenge himself. He's 90 minutes away from the Champions League group stage. Never too late for a show-off rate. I hope him show with some funds there. Definitely you would go on the road, do you think? As we try to get more update, or any update on the Jamaica Premier League. Not seeing anything on it. Junior, I that time for go my yard.
Yeah, man, I hate that.
Time for go my yard. BCN Sports halftime show is on Wednesday at 9 p.m. You know, if nothing no happen, you know.
Well, we're not about this Wednesday.
Yeah, probably not about, but look, we see how we go. Let's see how we go.
Y'all see how
no words
you
still
gonna
on
see
the
how
Jamaican
flexible.
Premier League.
And that's the thing. I don't see it anywhere.
Let me make a call.
BM, am I seeing wrong? And this is up to the minute. Up to the minute information here. Are we seeing wrong? Because I don't see anywhere that it says the Jamaican Premier League should be starting today other than that one article on Nationwide News.
Do we trust Nationwide to cover sports, though? I don't.
Right.
This is not their wheelhouse.
But in that case, when does the Jamaican Premier League kick off? And why is there not a big media blitz?
I don't know when the Jamaican Premier League kick off.
And I think Jamaican Premier League normally kick off around this time of year. So last year, the season kicked off last year, August 24th. This is the weekend when Jamaican Premier League should kick off. The first round of games last year was played August 24th. There's nothing on their YouTube. There's nothing in. You know what? Jamaican Premier League, link us, man. We will cover the league.
I'm not link you, Junior. You've been saying that for a while. I'm not link you.
Yeah, fussy them.
Let's see. It says here on the Twitter handle. Says, well, this according to Nationwide News. So, let's go to Facebook, Jamaican Premier League Facebook page.
Nothing over there. Nothing. And the most important thing is the website. The website have no information. All you have to do is, it's a spreadsheet behind it. It's an Excel spreadsheet. Just upload the new Excel spreadsheet with the schedule.
All right, big up to Bomb Sport. Check out Bomb Sports post. Bomb Sports says the Ray and Nephew Premier League has been pushed back from August 23rd to a new start date of September 6, 2026, Junior.
Lord of mercy.
So Bomb Sports, check out Bomb Sports on YouTube, Bomb Sports on Facebook for coverage. Yeah, Bomb Sports. You think that the Jamaican Premier League website would have that information, but
exactly.
Yeah. So
it's crazy. But I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that, family. Big up on yourself. BM, have a one. Yo, BM, what going Man United? We could talk. Big up to all those on the live. Smash the like button, family. Subscribe to the channel. Wednesday again, and before we Wednesday again. Have a wonderful week, family. Stay safe and hold on. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Look more.